Yes, yo. I'm back again for another one. It's your boy, N. Yeah. Alright. Big up Kopish all the time. Big up Matt. Big up Drifty. Big up Callum. Big up 12th Man. Big up Saint. Saint. Big up yourself. Saint LFC TV. Check them out. Big up. Want some bants. Want to watch. Big up Bajan Barnes. Bajan Pups. Harbour job, big them up always and sending love to the family. Appreciate that. Big yourself up on all the context. Big up M Tom Mizzy as well. Appreciate it. The boys for letting me do this video, which I just wanted to do basically, you know what I mean? So where do we go? Fifth. Not great, is it? Fifth. Champions League were average. Man City dumped out by Man City in the Carabao Cup, though it's his second string team. Brighton destroyed us, 3-1 beat down in the FA Cup, and then Champions League, we were just, honestly, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. A team that got lucky to beat us in the final, what was it, near about a year ago, which we bottled it. We bottled it in the final. Again, you know, we choke in the final, and then to again it's like we were Southampton. And I mean, yeah. Right, so let's go for some of the fixtures. So we started off first game 2-2 with Fulham. Nunes got no score sheet. Forgot. I believe it was Salah. Great start. Right. Just going through the fixtures. Then the next game was the 1-1 with Palace, which we have 10 men. Sahar, the backline. Phillips, I remember, played. It was alright, but had a stinker. He's struggling. And then we had 10 men, but we had some fight. Diaz scored a nice little curler. Got us back. Again, dropped points. And lo and behold, what was next? Oh, great. It was them scumbags at OT, Man United. And we lost 2-1. And yes, Gomez was poor, but the team was we were just getting ripped up too often. And then Trent, again, his old right back deficiencies, he was getting ripped to shreds again from the man that you know inside out. Van Dijk, the midfield was slacking up top. He came in and out, but getting 2-1. But one of the small highlights of the season was a 9-0 beatdown of Bournemouth, which cost Parker his job, and you know, Elliot got a goal. And we did what we did. We did what we do. We did what we did, you know what I mean? In the league. Then obviously was the last minute goal with Newcastle. You know, I think it was the 8th minute of stoppage time. Carvalho scored that, which was quite good, which is alright. And then we'll move into September. An average start, not a great start. September 0-0 in the Merseyside derby when Lampard, the only few people again embarrassing, gets a point against us. Solid enough defensively, no threat up top. Then the Napoli 4-1 beatdown, which obviously Gomez had a stinker. Matip, Arthur came on his only few minutes and the team went to rubbish, you know what I mean? So, and that was probably a start of a downhill. And then after that, we beat Ajax as well the following week. So we went on back on track. Wasn't convincing, but Matip got his thing, and then yeah, we move. Then the 3-3 draw, the Trossard hat-trick, but Bobby was cooking, got some good goals, but again, more drop points. And then Rangers came in, solid 2-0 win, dominated, you know, Salah and that. And then the 3-2 game with Arsenal, which was disappointing. I mean, they had a very dubious penalty. I mean, let's put it out there. You know, Arsenal complain about VAR, but, you know, Nunes got a goal, but we just not enough. And then one of the performances, the little crump ups, was the 7-1 beatdown of Rangers away. Salah, I think, got a hat-trick within the space of 7 minutes. And then one of the highlights of our season, the 1-0 against Man City, which was solid, with a solid back line. It was like about VVD and Gomez led the back line. The midfield was on it. And Salah did what he did, and Jota was on point. And that's when the injury got kind of derailed them for the majority of the season. 1-0 against West Ham. And then Forest, Nottingham Forest. Boy, oh boy, we lost to Forest. And that was a stinker of a game. We bounced back with the 3-0 of Ajax in the Champions League, followed by, wins, followed by the 2-1 defeat. I believe that was the only defeat of the season. Leeds, which was Somerville with the last minute goal. Van Dijk was just losing the plot. Then followed by, we beat Napoli, which was some kind of little bit of respite. We usually struggle to nearly done the thing. Beat Spurs, was it away 2-1? No point. Managed to beat Derby and penalties in the Carabao Cup, which is alright. And we're a young team, but again, embarrassing. And the last game before the World Cup was the 3-1 against Southampton. And then obviously it's a peculiar season, the World Cup break, and you think, oh, we've been, players can rest. Certain players like Salah and all these people that ain't play can rest the mind, but bodies focus. We can get back into it. Few pre-seasons, and we come back, and then we're back to losing 3-2 Carabao Cup. Bye bye. See you later. Defending champions Man City. So that wasn't great. We came back just after Boxing Day, 3-1 Villa, decent enough performance, and then a 2-1 win before New Year's Day against Leicester, which we weren't convincing, 2 on goals, but you're thinking, we've got a little bit of momentum going into the new year. But what happened in the new year? Oh my God. Well, where do we think? 3-1 Brentford, awful, terrible. 2-2 Wolves at home, again, hit and miss, terrible. 3-0 beatdown from Brighton, who just embarrassed us, was a joke. And then luckily we got a 1-0 win, which was, I remember the televised game on the beat. Elliot got a good strike. I went to that game, to be fair. But yeah. Then what do we have? Then January ended with 0-0 Chelsea, which was a boring game. How we didn't get points. And the funny thing is, we didn't even get a win against a dead Chelsea team all season. 0-0 drab performance. And then Brighton, our nemesis, knock us out of the FA Cup. And that's FA Cup done for the season, third round. So what we've got, the Champions League to say. Then the Wolves put us a beat down. I remember that as embarrassing. 3-0 down. Then we get some kind of little mini confidence against Everton. Derby win, which we needed to win, which Bashicek was excellent. He done a cameo, actually, to be fair. He was on point. And then also, regards with that, was the 2-0 win against a good Newcastle team. They had 10 men, but we didn't. The performance was average after 10 men, but Gakpo, got his goal. Nunes, which was good for the confidence. You're thinking, all right, we've got something to build. And we got Real Madrid. Started like a house on fire the first 20 minutes, and then the team was an absolute shambles. And it wasn't one player, it was the whole team, but some of our fans are actually embarrassing. 5-2 to Madrid at home. I mean, boy, we're out. Season done, really, to be fair. After that, we had the Crystal Palace game. So we qualified for the Champions League with Napoli, so we had the Crystal Palace game. Before that, after that, Crystal Palace 0-0, drab 0-0, beat Wolves 2-0, which we needed to do. And then obviously the highlights of the game, the only time where I actually thought I was like, I was rubbing it in, was the 7-0 beat down Man United was pretty unexpected, and I thought we were going to drop some points and lose, but obviously beating them scumbags was great. But that 7-up joke we was doing, probably worthless really, hence they're laughing at us right now. And what did we do after that? Oh yes, lo and behold, we lost to Bournemouth, another relegated team. Salah misses a penalty. Well gone, you get me, well gone for that Salah, yeah? And then the Madrid game was just whatever it is, just playing fun, whatever. Lost 1-0. I mean, that was it. And behold, the Champions City, because we're just out of form, the players are just dead. 4-1 beat down is City, but we've given them more competitive games. That was dead. And then 0-0 with again an average Chelsea team. This is before the caretaker. Again, we had little chances. Played all right, but not good enough. still nothing, which is annoying. And then the 2-2 draw of Arsenal. Now, we've had chances this we could have, which we 2-0 down. First 30 minutes were shambles. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to hear it. Done well to come back, but we really should have won it. So, yes, it was a little great comeback, but drop points weren't great. And then our little run starts. So, and the 6-1 beat down Chelsea. I mean, one of the best games of our season. But it wasn't really the best because, you know, it's because Leeds are just awful. They're trash. And they kind of showed in that game. And the hybrid role, and that's when, before that new Trent hybrid role came into effect. Was it the Arsenal game or was it before that? I think it was the Arsenal game we tried the hybrid. We started trying to do the hybrid role. I believe so. Yeah, but anyway, 6-1 beatdown. That was great. Fair enough. Beat Forest 3-2 was a neck and neck game. Made it a little bit more uncomfortable than it is. Then a 2-1 against West Ham was solid performance, one of our better performances. You know, solid. Got a bit lucky with the Thiago handball, but won on momentum. I'm still thinking top four is done. And then the Tottenham game, which is weird. Half an hour we blitzed them. I was thinking to beat them, and then somehow then we froze. We let them come back. And then luckily, Lucas Moura, the gift that keeps giving, gave us a last-minute goal. 4-3, Jota. Yes, but I wasn't really enthusiastic. I was just thinking how embarrassing we nearly let these Spuds team come back, and then you get a point when they were there for the taking. Beat Fulham 1-0 at home. And Brentford, so solid wins, you know, Salah on one of the goals. And one of the best performances, I believe, was the 3-0 of Leicester. Curtis Jones, we played solid that game. The team was flowing a little bit more better, more like ourselves. That was a solid, and, you know, the race was on. But oh, what do we do? What do we do? Guess what? We bottle it. And when we had the chance, we dropped points against Aston Villa, who done the job on us. Trent was awful that day, and then we couldn't get the goals. The gap call goal in and out, but it doesn't matter. Bobby scored, and then lo and behold, our chances of top four are done. Newcastle dropped points. So if we would have done our job and won the game, then we could have had a chance. But that's just typical Liverpool. And would you behold it? The last game of the season. Yeah, that was great, wasn't it? Yeah, 4-4. So we started how we finished. Awful. Dropping points. Bottom of the table. All over the place. So, yeah. So, like I said, you know, it ain't been a great season. So, what I will say is that Klopp, I don't know, man. For me, personally, he's got one season to get it right, and he has to win the Premier League or the Champions League. Otherwise, he has to go. He just has to go because the standards of this football club, it can't. It's Liverpool, and there's some fans. It's Klopp FC. It's not. If we don't win any of that, then he has to go. I'm sorry. Top four is not good enough. Little Carabao Cup. No. He's been in the job. He's got no excuses, man. He's had a good enough squad. Let's see what he buys. I don't care who, Man City, Arsenal, this person buy. I'm more focused on us. And it's time for certain players, man, to get their form back and step up and be the players that they can be. Now, there's no, if you want to use excuses, there's no little World Cup, mini World Cup. That was just an extraordinary one-off in a lifetime. They're going to have a full rest, a full preseason, and need to come back with a bang. So, yeah. In terms of players of this season, I'll tell you the few players that are immune to criticism would be Alisson, Bajicic, and Salah, I believe, to a certain extent, because so Alisson, I mean, we probably would have been low over one of his saves. Bajicic, he was a revelation, came in, scored, got a goal filler, and made good cameo appearances and had good games. Everton man of the match, and then just unfortunately got the injury, you know what I mean? And also Salah, top goal scorer, 19 goals, over 30, was it 30? Well, correct me on all competitions and assists. And one thing about Salah is I'm liking he's becoming a more complete player. So he's mixing up his play, which is good to see. But the rest were just trash, really, to be honest. It's awful. Yes, they had some good games here and there, and I think the key of next season is Klopp needs to make strong decisions. He has to buck up, whether it's VVD, Trent, buy the replacements, or trust the players and just say, you know what? You need to hold bench. You're off form because a lot of them were still playing when they were dead, and it's cost us, really. If you're playing dead, hold bench, you get me? Curtis Jones came in, obviously injury permitted, took his opportunity and made a run. So it really depends. But for next season, I'm hopeful. I'm not sure. It will really depend by the start of August who we sign and where the squad is, but that's my expectation. And I don't think I'm being harsh, but everyone has their opinions. But what I will say is everyone needs to keep on getting their video reviews in. A lot of people stopped, maybe busy and stuff, but let's keep it going, man. We appreciate the boys, we appreciate the channel. Let's keep it going. So this is my end the season review for Liverpool 2022 to 2023. Let's hope we can get back to how we was the season before. I'm out.